Hi folks. Another interesting email I received, and I wanted to share it with you because I think everyone has the same questions. It's just a few that actually send me an email with their questions, but I think everybody is I think everybody has the same curiosity. And the question reads like this: You're so confident in your profitable day trading method, and yet, I don't see you taking 4 and 5 contract trades. I only see you taking ones and twos. Signed Leo. Anyway, excellent point. Excellent point. You're right. I only show for the live trades. I only show 1 and 2 contract trades for averages of 100, 150, 200, $300. You're absolutely right. And this is the reason. 5 years ago, I was involved in a very, very nasty divorce. And it almost left me destitute. Yes, it can happen. It can happen, especially if your assets are tied up in real property. And then, not long after that, I became a victim of a hit and run car accident. And as a result, I lost my job. I lost my job. I stayed home. Couldn't couldn't even walk out the door. I had to get someone to come and do my laundry and go get my groceries. It's during this time that the ultimate winning method was created. Yes, it was created 5 years ago when I found myself almost penniless, jobless, wifeless, alone. Alone in my little studio apartment. Yes, and that's when this method was created. It was created during my convalescing period. I'm sure you've heard this phrase: when you have nothing to lose. And that's why, if you notice, most business owners and successful ones, for the most part, they're immigrants. They're not born in the US. They're immigrants from other countries coming here oftentimes with just a shirt on their backs. And yet they're some of the most successful business people. Why? Because when you have nothing to lose. Yes. And when I first created this method, I was all in. I was all in for 4, 5 contracts. I was all in because I had nothing to lose. And I made a substantial amount of money during the early few years of the development of this method. I made a substantial amount of money, and one of the videos, I talk about what I did with that money. What I did, how I invested it to create a stream of cash flow. But now, after I developed the method and I made a substantial amount of money, and I took that money and invested it properly, I geared down to 1 and 2 contracts. When you're trading for big money, when you're trading for 4 and 5 contracts, there's an adrenaline rush and it is euphoric. But the downside of that is that it can wear on you. It can affect your nervous system. Long term, it can affect your health. I mean, when you have that kind of stress upon you, even if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes that you're in the trade, those adrenal glands are working on overdrive. Yes. So it's not good for your health long term. So I did trade with 4 and 5 contracts when I was broke, when I needed to create financial independence quickly. But then about 2 years ago, and that's when I first started the website and I started sharing with this method with other people, I geared down to one and two contracts. It's a lot less stressful. You can make almost as much money because when you're targeting one or two contracts and you're targeting 150, 200, $300 for, even if you blow a trade or two, you can recover very quickly without the added stress. You can get a good night's sleep. When you're trading 4 or 5 contracts and you're trading for $800 a shot and you lose a trade, well, yeah, you might not sleep well that night until the next time you trade where your goal is to recover. You might not sleep well. So, yes, it's once you've made a certain amount of money, it's a lot easier to trade one and two contracts. You live longer and you live healthier. So, that's why about 2 years ago I geared down. I geared down to one and two contracts because I already achieved my goal. I made a lot of money. I invested it right, and it's producing income for me. Now I can trade at my leisure, and if I make 1,000 a week or 1,500, I'm very happy. I don't have to, at this point, I don't have to trade 4 and 5 contracts for 800 or $1,000 a trade. But it is a lot of excitement, and as I said, when you have nothing to lose. So there's the answer to that question. Take good care of yourself. We'll talk again next time. Bye bye.